Okay. So what are constellations? What are constellations? Do you know? The group of
Yes, ma'am.
stars.
Constellation is a group of stars that form a what?
Pattern or shape, particular pattern
Pattern.
or shape.
Particular
Any
pattern.
particular pattern or shape that they can have. The stars forming a group that has recognizable shape is called a constellation. In ancient times, constellations were a device to be able to recognize stars in the sky. The shape of a constellation always remains the same. Constellation appears to move from east to west because they are moving. So they move from east to west, but the
Because the
shape
earth is
remains
moving.
the same. The shape never changes. And the number of stars that make the group or that make the constellation, that also never changes. So this is why in the ancient times, people used to recognize the stars in the sky by the constellations. At the same time, they can also at a particular time, for a particular time period, they can also uh, identify the direction, to identify the direction, to know the direction in which place they are. They also use constellations sometimes, but for a particular time period. The locations of the constellations are helpful in finding and identifying the planets and other stars. There are 88 constellations in total. The Ursa Major, or the Great Bear that we call, or the Orion, or the Scorpio, or the Cassiopeia. So these are some of the prominent constellations. So many constellations, like 88, total 88 constellations are there, but we can't see all of them. Some prominent constellations are there. The stars are very bright and we can see them in the night sky. So they
can see the constellations every time.
yes, tell it. Akhil, again tell it.
Ma'am, prominent constellation means we can see the constellations every time.
All the time, yes, always. Generally, we can see them. Some of the constellations are very bright. We can see them prominently, and some are there which we can't see prominently if we use suppose telescopes and anything like any gadget by which we can see them. Yes, then we can identify them properly. But the total 88 constellations are not visible properly as the skies are not that much bright. Some constellations can be seen easily with the naked eyes, while others can be visible only through the telescopes that I was telling you just now. Some constellations are discussed below. So the constellations that we can see with our naked eyes without the help of telescopes that have bright stars, they are discussed here. The first one is Ursa Major. So how many can you tell me? Can any of you tell me that how many stars form this constellation?
7.
7 stars. So sometimes it is called Big Dipper, or it is also called the Great Bear, or it is also called the Saptarshi. One of the most famous constellations that can be seen in the summer sky during night is the Ursa Major. It is also known as Big Dipper, Great Bear, or the Saptarshi. The Ursa Major has 7 prominent stars. It appears like a big ladle or a question mark. There are 3 stars in the handle of the ladle and 4 in its bowl. If an imaginary line joins the 2 stars at the edge of the ladle, then it will point to the pole star, that is the Polaris. So you can see here, 4 stars are making the head. 1, 2, 3, 4. And other 3 are making the ladle or the tail part. Okay. And what happens if we just point the last part, the last star, as you can see here, the last 2, if an imaginary line joins the 2 stars at the edge of the ladle, it will point to the Polaris. So which stars they are talking about at the edge of the ladle? Not at the end.
Ma'am, it is a spoon.
This one. Okay. So if we extend this one, it will point to the Polaris or the pole star. Now, the Ursa Minor. Mute your device. See from whose device that noise is coming. It is also known as the Little Dipper or the Little Bear. The star in this constellation are also arranged to those of the Ursa Major, but they are less bright and closer together than the Ursa Major. The last star in the handle of the Little Dipper is the pole star. So the last star in the handle is of the Little Dipper is the pole star. And if we extend the Ursa Major, the two stars of Ursa Major, if we just extend them, they will go and join to the pole star, and the pole star is the last star present in the handle of the Little Dipper. So this is how we can join them. Okay, wait, I will show you all how we get it. Okay, here it is.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Now you are joining. Okay, now look at the screen. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See how the two stars present at the edge of the Ursa Major. That means this one. This is the Ursa Major or Big Dipper. The two stars present at the edge of this Big Dipper. If we join them and if we draw an imaginary line here, it will directly go and connect the Polaris. Now, what is the Polaris? Polaris is also known as the pole star, and it is also the last star present in the handle of the Small Dipper or Ursa Minor. Can you see? This one is the Ursa Minor. This one is the Ursa Minor, and this one is the Major. So this is how, if we just join these two stars and draw an imaginary line, it will directly go and join the Polaris. Okay, is it clear to you now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
What is the basic difference between the Ursa Major and Minor? Major is, you can see, the major one is brighter. Yes.
Brighter and bigger, and the Ursa Minor is more nearly packed and less bright.
Smaller and less brighter.
Smaller, less bright, and they are very closely packed. Very good. Now the next one is Orion. Some also call it Orion. Okay. It is one of the magnificent constellations in the sky. It has 7 or 8 bright stars. Orion is also called the Hunter, as the 3 middle stars represent the belt of the Hunter, and 4 bright stars appear to be arranged in the form of a quadrilateral. You can see here.
He is a hunter with a bow.
Hunter with a bow, yes. So in the middle, there are 3 stars here. They make the belt. In his hand, there is the bow. The shoulders are also there. And it also makes the legs. If we join the stars, okay? And this one is also clearly visible in the night sky. An elaborate structure shows a man with a club and a shield. So that means a bow and a shield also. This constellation is visible in the southern sky, and this can be easily seen during the summer months in India. With the help of this constellation, it is easy to spot the brightest star in the night sky. What is that? That is Sirius. Or Sirius is aligned with the imaginary line formed with the 3 stars constituting the hunter's belt. So here, the 3 stars that constitutes the hunter belt, from that if we draw an imaginary line, it will go and connect to Sirius, that is the brightest star in the night sky. Next one is Scorpius. Okay, let's see this one.
Ma'am, no, Odin have a sword and a shield, not bow. At the top, he have a sword and at
See, we can also call it a bow. It also looks like a bow. Okay, it depends
Yes, ma'am.
on who tells it what. It also looks like a bow. If you see, it also looks like a bow. So we call it a bow. Or we also call it, see here what is written here. It is written club and shield. Okay, so it depends on how you are describing it. But you can see that a man who is just holding these things in his hand. Next one is a Scorpio. Scorpius, because it looks like a Scorpio. It is one of the brightest constellations. The stars from the image of a scorpion with a long curving tail. From the northern hemisphere, scorpion can be seen in the southern sky near the center of the Milky Way. It can only be seen during the summer season. The brightest star, Antares, marks the heart of the scorpion. So let's see which one is that, the brightest star, that is called Antares.
Ma'am, middle one.
I think this one, right? This one.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So from this we can say that most of the constellations can be seen properly during the summer season, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because during the summer the sky is generally clear. In winter the fogs and can be there, and in rainy season there is no question about it that we can't see them due to the clouds. So summer is the best season. So right now if the sky is clear, then you can go out and during the night time you can see, you can just find all these constellations.
And the Indian name of Pleiades is
Next.
Kritika. That is your name.
Yes, Pleiades. Okay, let's see what is this. This constellation is an open cluster of stars which becomes clearly visible in the winter sky. So now we have got a constellation that we can see clearly in the winter. There is no particular arrangement of stars in this constellation. The Indian name for this constellation is Kritika. Okay, see this one. So this is a constellation that we can see during the winter time or winter season. So no particular pattern is there, as you can see. Clearly no particular arrangement or pattern can be seen in this constellation. But and there is an Indian name also that is written. And the next one is Cassiopeia. That is very, very prominent, like W, and we all can see in the sky this one. And the stars are also quite bright. Cassiopeia is another prominent constellation in the northern sky. It is visible during the winters in the early part of the night. It looks like a distorted letter, that is W or M. If you can also call it W, or if you look at in inverted condition, you can also say that it's an M. All the stars in this constellation are supposed to form an image of the Egyptian queen Cassiopeia. This constellation comprises of several stars, star clusters, each cluster containing innumerable stars. So this constellation was named after whom? The Egyptian queen Cassiopeia. So this is why it is called Cassiopeia. Wait, the next page is not opening. Too much network problem is there today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I also got disconnected in this class on one time.
From first class also I joined.
Yes,
So
yes.
that time also
Just
problem.
wait. Yes. Hopefully now we will get this page. Like all the stars, the sun is a huge ball of hot gases, mostly hydrogen and helium. So mostly hydrogen and helium gases, they make the sun. It is 4.6 billion years old and has enough fuel to last for next 5 billion years. And so we get heat and light from sun. Its surface temperature is about 6,000 degrees centigrade, and the center of the sun is extremely hot. Its temperature is about 14 million degrees centigrade. The light of the sun takes about 8 minutes and 29 seconds to reach the earth. Now you tell me what is a light year. I have told you in the last class.